today's video, I'm going to be breaking down why you keep finding abandonment. Now, this could be about friends. This could be most likely about romantic situations. Maybe this person actually physically leaves, or maybe they stick around, but emotionally they continually disappoint. They continually to neglect you. They're showing up in a way that you don't want. If you watch to the end of this video, you're going to understand what's happening, why it's happening, but most importantly, what you can do to stop this dynamic and change it so that you can start attracting emotionally available people. So let's get started. If you've watched other of my videos, you probably know by now that I'm a very visual person. So I don't like to just talk about it. I like to show you what's happening. So today we're going to be using some household items so that you can understand what's going on. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so I'm going to be using bowls, and the only reason these are different sizes is simply because I couldn't find the same size bowl. So let's just pretend that they're the same. So this one obviously is going to represent you, and this one is going to represent the other. So we got these two right here. This right here, this water, is going to represent emotion. You can think about it as energy. You can think about it as your focus. So if you have a situation, maybe you're interested in somebody romantically, and you're really excited, you're putting a lot of effort out there, but maybe they get distracted. Maybe they don't call you. Maybe they don't text. Maybe they go out with somebody else, and you start assuming that, oh no, they would go out with me if they like me. They must not really like me. Oh no, that other person's better than me. Again, remember, anytime you're suspicious, anxious, distrusting, or you start to compare, that energy in itself is jealousy. Okay, if you can detach that jealousy has to do with you being jealous of someone, and that it's really rooted in the fear of abandonment, you'll really help to change your dynamic of being abandoned. So basically, okay, so you got you and you got the other. So when you start spinning, this is my magic spoon. It's going to be showing you what's going on. But as you start to think, oh no, they must be doing this, this, and that, and you take that focus, okay, and you put it in the other. You put it with them, okay? You're not looking out for you. You're not thinking about you, even though it feels like you are, because it's in regards to you, right? This person you want to be in a relationship with, or that you want to like you. You have to really start to think, okay, well, you're not getting a need met. You're feeling scared. You're feeling you're going to be abandoned. But rather than addressing that and putting the energy on you, what you're doing is you're taking your focus and your emotions. Oh no, they haven't called me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Oh no, they went with that other person. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. This could also be about a career. Oh, I don't make as much as that person, or I'm not good enough. Whatever it is, right? Anytime your focus and attention starts to go with the other, in direct competition with yourself, that you're not giving your attention to yourself, you're looking at the other person, right? So again, this specifically comes up in romantic situations where somebody doesn't return your call, somebody doesn't text you, they don't seem as interested. Now the story that you start creating where your attention is about them, okay, maybe if I go and buy these clothes, or maybe if I show up and I buy flowers for them, or maybe if I go and help them in this way, then they'll like me. All that focus is on the other person. All that focus is about how maybe if you get them to change the way that they see you, then you'll get your cup filled. But in the meantime, you're completely disregarding yourself, because all that attention and that focus and that energy is going with them. So even though it might not feel like you're abandoning yourself, at the end of the day, if you're afraid that you're going to be abandoned, rather than taking that energy and addressing what's going on with you, you shift it so that this person is now the source for you not to feel abandoned, you not to feel lonely, you not to feel not good enough. And as long as you do that, you continue to not fill your cup. And I'm going to show you why you keep getting abandoned, because ultimately your relationship with yourself, the way you treat yourself, is what you're going to get a reflection of. So in this situation, there's no energy here. No one's invested in you. So because unconsciously you've been continually investing in the other person, not investing, not validating, not staying with yourself, seeing if you can be whoever it is they want you to be, so that then they'll like you, so that then they'll give you attention. That is self-abandonment. You are leaving yourself, your needs, what you require in this moment for them. That attention goes to them. Again, it's so important to understand this. Because in the story you create is, oh, well, maybe if I would have done that, they would have liked me. Maybe I'm just not good enough. That's why they don't like me. And all of your worth, all of your importance, all of your needs getting met is related through them. I call this the eel, right? The emotional echolocating. And this oftentimes happens from early on, that your adult caretaker at the time did not meet your needs. You were trying to stay safe, and it's vital for a child to relate and check in to see how the adult is. Are they there? Am I good? Are they accepting me? Because if you're not accepted and you're rejected, you're going to end out by yourself in the world where you can't survive. But you're stuck thinking that you've got to relate to your sense of safety and your sense of getting your needs met through somebody else. And yes, we have needs that we cannot meet on our own. However, in these romantic situations, in these friend situations, if you look and see, okay, who can I be so that they'll like me? No one's with you. No one's asking, what is it that I need? Wow, I'm really starting to feel scared right now. I'm starting to tell myself the story that no one's going to stay with me, that no one likes me. Wow, what insecurity, what wound can I use this energy? Because when you do that and you start asking those questions, look at what happens here. Oh, okay, I'm starting to really feel triggered that I'm not good enough. Okay, what is in my mind what makes me feel not good enough? That energy is not with them. That energy stays with you. But again, if you don't ask those questions and you don't focus on yourself, you're going to get a reflection of this. You see this empty cup? It's a reflection of your self-abandonment. Now, you've got to understand too, if you've been telling that story, if you were shown to not invest in you, if you were shown neglect, betrayal, abandonment early on, that's what you know. And there is a chance that you're attracted to and are also attracting people who do not emotionally show up. Right? They take your energy and they go. That doesn't make them a bad person. However, it's continuing an old dynamic of when you were younger, most likely. So the first thing to solve this, to fix this, is to understand, oh my God, I did not know that I was betraying myself. Every time I made my sense of worth dependent on how they treated me, I gave them my energy and I left me depleted. I didn't realize I was abandoning myself in that moment. I wasn't checking in with me. I wasn't staying with me because I was hoping so bad that this person would see me and they could love me and then maybe I'd feel good enough. I know this is because this was my life. This was my story. I continued to invest in other people, give them my attention, edit myself, hope that maybe I could be the person that they would want, so then I would feel worthy. Then I would feel like my life mattered. But what I wasn't seeing is every time I invested and I became obsessed with what they were doing, with how they saw me, I continued to neglect myself. And I got a reflection of that empty cup. That abandonment that I was doing to myself, I continued to get a dynamic with other people in that. Because ultimately I did feel like I had to work and I had to earn my worth, because that was echoing messages I perceived as a child. That I got to work really hard, that I got to do this and that, I got to be a hero, I got to show up and fix people's problems, because if I don't, what purpose do I have in their life? And because I did not see a purpose in my life without that, I continue to find people who agreed with me. And you can bring in Neville Goddard. The one thing he consistently said is your level of consciousness, your conception, the self-concept you have of yourself, that I have to work really hard, that I need to put my attention to others and then they'll give to me, that I can't give directly to myself. Because if that's selfishness. If you grew up in a house that was Christianity based, there's nothing wrong with religions. However, it's messages. What message did you get? That I have to be a hero, a martyr, that I can't check in with me first and then go out and help other people? Because if you did, you'll learn and you'll have the habit of rejecting yourself, neglecting yourself so that you can be there for somebody else. But at the end of the day, no one's there with you. And then you can get frustrated, and it can perpetuate the idea of, I'm not good enough, because if I was good enough, that person would stay. But if you go back to the energy dynamic that we started with here, somebody's not showing up for you. You start having feelings. You start feeling not good enough. You start feeling anxious. Oh, there I go. I'm really afraid right now. And even that, checking in with yourself, you're doing this. You're filling your cup. You're staying committed to yourself. I'm feeling triggered because I'm afraid that this person's going to leave. And if this person leaves, then I have no one. And then I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, or whatever the story is. okay, whew, that's a really heavy emotion to process. I'm gonna sit in it, and I'm gonna realize this isn't true. This is a fear. And when I act based on fears, I continue to live in a very limited box because it's majority based in the past. So when I base my choices on the fears of the past, I perpetuate my past into my future. And I'm not even able to live in my current reality because I'm anxious about the future and fearful of recreating the past, which basically you don't have free choice there. You're literally a slave to the projected future based on the past and maybe the regrets or the pain of the past. Sitting in and processing those deep fears and looking them in the eye and realizing, what is it that I need? Okay, I need some more stability. I need consistency in my life. And when with the certain relationships I have, that consistency isn't there. And as I advocate for myself, as I even realize what I need, I need some consistency and stability. That brings me a sense of safety. And when I feel safe, I can more authentically move in the world. I can show up as myself and not be so consumed with, oh no, if this person leaves, I'm not going to be okay. So again, when you shift the focus on whatever's happening, they're not calling, okay, that fear of rejection is coming up. You learn different somatic modalities, which could be breath work, which could be learning how to ground yourself. But it's learning how to basically ride that fear, the physiological response that your fear wants to do, which is going to send your mind into, what do they call the reptilian mind, and you're just going to respond to the past. You've got to learn, and there's different resources, and learning how to stay in your body, learning how to override these fear responses and reprogram your amygdala, which is your fear scanner, that's going to align with the version of you, the consciousness level, the conception of yourself. The you that has a safe, loving, stable relationship has that relationship with themselves first. And then you doing that, you filling up your cup, you asking, you checking in, you being loyal to you, no matter what the situation is outside, and learning how to relate to someone else through yourself, that is going to be echoed, and that is going to be reflected back through a loving, stable, secure relationship. But you will never get a relationship that is rooted in self-abandonment and find a loving, safe, secure relationship. Because even if you do manifest somebody like that, somebody comes into your life, you won't feel good enough. You won't be able to relate to yourself that way, and so you'll reject it, you'll deny it, you'll be suspicious of it. I don't think this person really likes me. I think that they want something from me. So as you develop it within yourself, that is what's going to shift. The first step in that is awareness. The second will be to develop a somatic practice, basically meaning that your mind and body are connected, so that you can override past fear responses and triggers and make a new choice in the present moment that aligns with the you that you want to be. Continue to re-reason on old past beliefs and update them. Realize the truth about yourself, which is going to allow you to re-reason and then ultimately dissolve the old beliefs as you are in the meantime using your imagination to create the you that you want to be. As you do these different things, the way you relate to yourself, which is going to be the first step, filling your cup, the way you relate to other people will change. And so therefore what you see changes. What you're able to then experience will shift because you have space for it. Because when you let go of something, you actually create space to receive something else. The more and more you do this, the more and more you'll have disconfirming experiences. You are worth it and you deserve it. And if you're working on self-worth right now, this next video right here is going to help you to show you the steps to actually increase your self-worth. I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.